The news that not surprising to anybody. The New York Jets tell Revis, peace out. They save another $9 million under the cap.
They're about right now. As I look at the salary compilations for the NFL, it looks like they're about $30 million under the cap.
Does that include Revis?
It does include Revis, I believe. So it looks like they're about $30 million under the cap right now, which I believe there's still more to come.
Yes, I would agree. Brandon Marshall, in theory, would be another 7.5.
Or Sheldon Richardson if they trade him. And the thing about it is that it obviously is Mike McCagnon's loading up to do something.
Right.
And it sounds like they are going to try to be as active as the Giants were last year at this time.
Well, listen, they've moved themselves into a place where they can go get anybody they want. They have the money to attract any and all free agents if a free agent would want to come to the Jets. Right, and that's going to be the rub there, that if you have your first crack or your last crack, let's say, at free agency, and you've been through this as a player, and you have a choice now of, all right, I got 3 teams courting me. I'm going to make a lot of money no matter where I go. What is the upside to playing for the New York Jets? And I think that's the biggest problem the Jets are going to have.
There's only one thing that would be the upside right now would be cash. We'd be making the money and overpaying for somebody to come here, kind of like they did with Revis when they brought him back here.
Right.
So you got to hope that Mike McCagnon is locked in and is going to start making the right decisions, much like Jerry Reese did last year. Jerry Reese pushed all the right buttons.
Yep.
I mean, from
took about 4 or 5 weeks for them to get it.
From Olivier Vernon to Janoris Jenkins to Snacks Harrison, rebuilt the defense. Spagnuolo's defense was one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL this year. So it was all money well spent on players that still had a lot of upside and lived up to the potential that they were paying them for. So now the question is, can Mike McCagnon kind of do that? But the problem is, at least. Jerry Reese could say, hey, look, we got a 2-time Super Bowl MVP at quarterback. So we're going to be in every game because of our quarterback situation. Right now, Mike McCagnon can't say that. And the question that I would have, who is he looking at as a veteran stabilization at quarterback? Who is the guy that he wants to be the stabilizing factor in that quarterback room that knows the West Coast offense?
Well, how many guys are out there? How many veteran guys that you would say, you know what, we're going to let you come in here while Hackenberg and Petty try to figure things out. You'll be the guy because you know the offense,
You got to be the guy. I mean, so the question that, and we're still waiting for the Tony Romo shoe to drop.
Yes.
As to what's going to happen with him. And then when he's on the open market, where does he go? What does he do? What kind of decisions are made? Do they trade him? Do they cut him? What's the story around Tony Romo, which is somewhat frustrating, I think, for fans overall around the league, because if you are in the market for a new quarterback, maybe Tony Romo is somebody that you'd like for your team. But as long as the Dallas Cowboys don't announce, and I haven't seen it. Now, last night I was obviously knee-deep in this hockey game, but I haven't seen anything in regards to where Tony Romo is going and what he's doing.
There were rumors about Kansas City again last night.
Oh, really?
Rumors about Houston again last night. But Kansas City came back up, even though the owner came out and said, I'm with Andy Reid. Alex Smith's our guy. He is your guy, as you said yesterday, until Tony Romo says, you know what, I'd love to play for you. Let's get a deal done. So in any event, I like what the Jets are doing because they're being proactive. They're being far more aggressive, I think, than they were a year ago. They're going to have at least 30, maybe 40+ million bucks under the cap to spend, meaning, and by the way, that puts them middle of the road. There's a lot of teams that have 35, 40, 50 million bucks.
Well, just to give you an idea.
I think that makes them 20s, right?
The Cleveland Browns. Do you want to know how much cap space the Cleveland Browns have?
I know it's over 100.
But I don't know how much. $107 million.
Right.
The 49ers, $81 million with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, $79 million. The Jaguars, $73 million. The Titans, $67 million. I mean, when I take a look at that, the Buccaneers and the Titans are 2 teams that are really good.
But the next team's the most troubling team.
And then who's number 6 on the list right now as we look at this is the New England Patriots. Right. They have $62 million. Now, they have 2 players that are up right now that I know of. Dante Hightower, their middle linebacker, and, of course, Logan Ryan, who basically, they're not going to franchise Dante Hightower. I would think that they're going to want to re-sign him, but some of these out there like the Jets, and they're like nuts about, making New England worse and your team better. Do you go after these New England Patriot guys and overpay them?
I mean, it doesn't hurt to do it. But the point is the Jets will be active and potentially very active. But it doesn't change the fact of what we've talked about since you and I started this show. We ain't got a quarterback. And I don't know if there's a veteran quarterback out there that's a free agent right now that you would say comfortably and confidently, all right, that's the guy. That guy solidifies that position. I don't think that guy exists in the free agent market. Now, Tony Romo, of course, would be that guy. Alex Smith would be that guy. So there's a couple guys that, depending on trades and what happens over the course of the next 30 days, might be available. But right now, the New York Jets at least have made themselves an option. They've made themselves relevant.
They also got rid
in
of
the
guys.
free agency
They also got rid of guys.
So I mean, you're going to
that
sign
were not going to live up to their contract status anyway. You know, that's one of the reasons why Nick Mangold is no longer here. You know, you can't pay a guy $9 million who's now all of a sudden 33 years old and is going to get injured. So it makes complete sense that you would jettison him. It makes complete sense, and it has nothing to do with what went on in Pittsburgh with Revis, by the way. It was just really what happened on the field.
Right. I mean, he came in out of shape. He played like crap. He's getting paid like he's the best cornerback in football.
Plus, he's going to get the $6 million that is guaranteed to this year's salary. So another miscalculation on the part of the Jets because they're going to have to pay him $6 million for nothing.